Okay, and good afternoon, members, and welcome to this meeting of the Kirkcudbright Common Good Subcommittee. This meeting is being live streamed and recorded and will be made available for viewing through our council's website. Members may notice that when calling members to speak, I will refer to them formally and using their title, e.g. Councillor Smith, so that it is clear who are councillors and who, by the process of elimination, are officers. Remote participants, please follow the good practice guide, which includes muting microphones and switching off your video when you are not addressing the meeting. Writing speak in the Teams chat function when you want to contribute. Please don't repeat contributions already made by other members. No material should be posted in the chat function if it is intended as part of the discussion. The usual standing orders apply, including that any votes will be undertaken by roll call. If any member has to leave the meeting, please either leave the Teams meeting for that period of time or write leave in the Teams chat function and then join when you rejoin the meeting so we can keep track on whether the meeting is quorate. All members should speak clearly, taking their time and speaking directly into the microphone and when making contributions. When referring to reports, please provide reference to the relevant page and paragraph to allow everyone to follow. Please focus contributions on areas where clarification is required or to propose alternative recommendations. We'll now move on to item 1, Cedron apologies, Chair's approval of minutes and remote participation. Ingrid, can you provide the Cedron indicating who is participating remotely and any apologies, please?
Yeah, so we have Councillor McFarlane, Councillor Dennerley and Councillor Campbell all joining us today on Teams. We also have our community representative, Lindsay Forbes, trying to join the call but hasn't managed to join it thus far.
Okay, so I confirm my agreement to the participation of members named as participating remotely. Item 2, declarations of interest. Do members have any statement of connection or declaration of interest to declare based on the definition? Statement of connection for transparency. For transparency reason, members may wish to make a public statement. Declaration of interest, members would now require to leave the meeting for that item. Dougie Campbell, Councillor Campbell.
Thanks, John, and good afternoon, folks. It's just to make a declaration in terms of a good few weeks ago now, I was approached by a director of the Kirkcudbright Fringe asking about eligibility to apply to the Common Good Fund, and as Ingrid will know, I'd passed that inquiry on to her, and that's all.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell, and that is noted. Are there any other statements? If not, we'll move on to item 3, minute of previous meeting on Wednesday, the 21st of May for noting. Are members happy to note?
Happy.
Councillor Campbell, thank you. That's
apologies.
Approved.
I used the wrong emoji. Apologies.
Okay. Item. No. Okay. No problem. Thank you. Item 4. Applications for financial assistance from Kirkcudbright Common Good Fund. Report by Head of Thriving Communities. Our only report today is in relation to an application for financial assistance from Kirkcudbright Fringe CIC. Details of the application are contained within the report and Appendix 2. Ward Manager Ingrid Gemmell is present to answer any questions. Members and community representatives, do you have any comments or questions for Ingrid? Don't see any, so we'll therefore move to recommendations. Members are asked to note that the estimated fee income, sorry, Councillor McFarlane.
Yeah, thanks. It's really just to ask if Ingrid, it's really unfortunate that Mr. Forbes can't join the meeting, and I'd like this part recorded, please, because they have obviously raised some issues in relation to this funding, and it would be really interesting to understand what those issues might be. But without that representation, I don't see any reason why this shouldn't be supported. But I see that Ingrid wants to come in, and perhaps she can shed some light on that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor McFarlane. Ingrid, are you able to provide a response?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So you'll see within the summary of the application that the Community Council have commented stating that the Community Council recommends that there should be no award, and the reasons for this being that it's perceived within the community as well as within the application that it's a commercial enterprise. But if there should be any award, it should be no more than 25%, and this should be the final award of this event. I have also added into the summary for members' information that the organisation is a private company limited by guarantee without share capital, and that is a community interest company. As a CIC, all profits are reinvested into the community-focused initiatives, and the organisation is subject to regulatory oversight to ensure it continues to serve in the public interest. While the event may generate income, this is solely to sustain its operations and expand its impact, not for private gain. So I just wanted to make sure that members had the information that was provided by the Community Council, but for their fullest information, explain a little bit how a community interest company, a CIC as they're known, is set up. I hope that's helpful for members in making decisions around the application.
Thank you for that explanation, Ingrid. I think that was really helpful. It certainly clarified things for me that it is a company, different. It is limited, but it's a CIC. So, Councillor McFarlane.
Yeah, really just a little bit of clarification in relation to that. As it is a company limited by guarantee, I think that's what the phrase was, are there any directors or such like, are there any staff who get paid from this? Is this funding going completely to the events, or is it subsidising staffing and the actual organisation? Thanks.
Ingrid, are you able to answer that?
Yes, I can certainly pull up the application and have a look at that. But I'm sure for the purposes of this application, it's for 3 particular projects, and within that there is some costs for tutors that are coming along, so that are going to be supporting the work that's happening. So there will be some costs for kind of professionals and tutors that are coming along to the different events. So there's 3 different events within this application. So there's the seeking of funding to work with St Cuthbert Wanderers to develop and run a football community engagement and participation in sport project, and that involves Julie McNeil, who is an author, I think. There's also
Ingrid, can I interrupt you?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm quite comfortable with what's in there. What I mean is, it's just about any of the cost that we're allocating going beyond what's there, i.e. to, like I say, company limited by guarantee, they have directors, anything like that. It's really just that I'm happy with the application
no,
as
absolutely. The application, the money that's been applied for is solely for these 3 projects, and it details there how much it is that they're asking for each element. None of that is for staffing costs.
More than happy with that, thanks.
Thank you for that explanation, Ingrid. So we're clear that the funding is focused on the 3 projects, and I think we've got Councillor Dougie Campbell.
Thanks, Convener. Just building on the comments from Andy and from Ingrid, it's my understanding that community interest companies are sort of becoming more favoured by community organisations across the country, and the idea is that any revenue that's generated is ploughed back into the next year's projects. What I think is encouraging is that the Fringe are putting forward, I think it's £2,500, which for a fairly new organisation I think is really encouraging. And I think they're offering something bright, new, different. And there's no doubt that these three projects, particularly the one around St Cuthbert's and also the secondary school, are clearly about benefiting directly the local community. So I'm happy to support the application in full.
So Councillor Campbell raised some valid points. I think it's important to see the value of this and the opportunity to give recurring funding so it can expand, it can grow, and the Fringe in future can be, a success, continue to be a successful event. So I think there's a unanimity there. So, Ingrid has a comment.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to come in. So we do have Lindsay Forbes, the community representative, on the call. Lindsay has raised, or asked me to raise with members, unfortunately he can't get to us through Teams, but he's asked to raise that there's no accounting info for the organisation being presented, but that has been presented. So we do get that information in to our Common Good inbox. And as the report states, that each and every one of the applications has to go through a rigorous compliance check. So we do have all that information, and officers are happy with what's been contained within that.
Thank you, Lindsay, for your comments, and we, as councillors on the call, obviously are all in favour of this. And so if we now move on to recommendations, is that okay? Members are asked to, one, note that the estimated fee income for 25-26 is £27,711 as detailed in paragraph 4 to 4.6, and to know to note the agreed grant criteria for funding as detailed at Appendix 1, and point 3, consider and agree award to the applicant as detailed in paragraph 4.7 and Appendix 2. Are members happy to agree the recommendations?
Agreed.
Yeah, happy to agree.
Thank you. That takes us forward to item 7, any other business deemed urgent by the chair due to the need for a decision. I have no urgent business, so this concludes the meeting. Could I thank everybody for your contributions?
Thanks, Chair. Thanks, Ingrid.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Okay.